Those who leave you, well, it's good to have you.
What
back
do you
on
mean by
this.
those? You caught me off guard. I was so not prepared for that.
But you know, if you're a disrupt person, you know this face, you should know this face, and it needs no introduction. But say, I am surprised that Ghana, a secular country as Ghana, would be caught in this religious legal turmoil. I don't even know how to put it. You know, that now the state is faced with whether we should allow Wesley girls who are Muslim students to wear hijab, fast during school activities, and all of that, and all of this going on. Now it begs the question: the total elimination of religious activities in our school, could this be a solution to this whole religious brouhaha going on right now, especially with Wesley girls not allowing Muslim girls to wear hijab?
I think it depends. It depends. So first thing, you mean Muslims in Wesley Girls?
Girls.
But you see, the conversation of Ghana being a secular state, even that is a whole conversation on its own.
Right.
Because we don't act as if we're a secular state. Like, let's
honestly,
a typical example, when we are swearing the president in, before we do anything, we pray, we do the traditional prayers, we do the Muslim prayer, we do the Christian prayer, we pour the libation. Yeah. It's like religion is part of everything Ghanaian. So it's very difficult to say Ghana is a secular state, even though we are supposed to be, because we're supposed to be regulated by the constitution, but our actions and inactions do not say so.
I agree, you know.
Yeah. Then so now, religion is part of our education system. So for a country where almost all the big names in secondary schools were built based on like religion funded its missionary, taking religion out will be difficult.
Okay.
Unless the government steps up.
So at this point, it is not possible to eliminate religious activities.
It would be
totally.
Very difficult. See, religion is so embedded in everything we do, from even the lower level of schooling, where when the kids go to school, RME is part of it. So it's part of a course you teach.
Okay.
So it just makes sense to practice it.
Okay.
Do you get it?
But
then now you come up to the middle school, senior high school, where the parents are not the ones enforcing it. The school is the one trying to enforce one. So the school would definitely gravitate towards the ones they can comfortably control or enforce. So if I'm a missionary school, like I went to a Zion, AME Zion funded school. If you go to one, it's easier for the school to okay, for us we are Catholics, or for us we are Methodists, or for us we are Presbyterian. So it's easy. Do you get it?
Right.
Taking it totally out would mean then the school, the church is not mixed at all. So I don't think we'll have this conversation with fully funded schools like the senior high schools. Mahama started in Mahama 1 before he came back.
Right.
Those schools are even day schools, so we have less of religion in there, but you won't have something like this in there. Do you get it? So I think it might be the solution, but it will be very unattainable.
But people also make the argument that if you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do. You know, and so why is it that these schools, we take Wesley Girls particular, for instance, this is a school that was funded by a mission, right? Yeah. And these missions have their ideologies, they have their ways of life, their ethos and all of that. Yeah. And they are saying that when we establish this thing as part of instilling these kind of values and character upon which these schools are built, so we don't compromise on uniformity, everyone must go according to what the school does, which is, if you are a Christian, whether you're a Christian or not, when it's time for church service, you have to be there.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm sure this was in the 80s.
Okay.
It was easier. In the early 90s, it was
but say we can't if we allow everyone to do what they want to do. Say, so for instance, if Wesley Girls have church service and then the Muslim cannot relate at the church service,
so do a church service for the Muslims. Do a church service for the Muslim. You know, we tend to think that it's only the Christians that have church service. Everybody has service. The Christians call it church service. The Muslims also have service.
Right.
So do a service for them. Do a service for the Muslims in the school. To be fair, I kind of feel where they are coming from in this case, especially when the issue of Ramadan came up in 2021, 2022. There I was like, why? Because when I went to senior high school, like the Muslims were taking very good care of during Ramadan. Like we those who were not fasting were jealous of them, because they prepare special food for them. They prepare food for them to even break their fast with in the evening, and food them for them to start the fast with at-dawn.
Okay.
Like they were catered for because they are boarders, they are schooling, and then they do not get the chance. So there is some
sense of religious tolerance here.
That is what most schools I know do. Okay. At least you tolerate. So you see, when you're a majority, you have to make sure that the minority in you do not feel very like aligned or put aside. Okay. That's why voices will rise up, because like seriously, why are blacks fighting in the US? Because they're a very small minority, and if they don't start shouting and making noise, they will not be heard of. So if you have a lot of minority in your space, like so if you're a Catholic school or you're a Methodist school or you're a Presbyterian school, you have other minorities, you have to make sure you accommodate them so they don't feel like they are being left out. In Agri, everybody goes to afternoon service, whether you're a Christian, whatever your denomination is. We call it non-denominational service. And I think half of the time the service was mainly about doing right by yourself, doing right by your neighbor. It was about love, things to build our morals. It wasn't very heavy on Christianity, because it was a non-denominational service where they know that there are other people amongst us. So it was mainly just us coming, praying for ourselves, our parents at home, and then they give us a bit of teaching on morals. I remember most of the teachings were on morals. In fact, half of us do not even listen to what they are saying because we are chatting amongst ourselves. Like, you have to be there, so you are there. But we were allowed to have non-denominational service. Where you go and you have the Jesus Christ preaching and the tongues preaching and the SU people come. And on Fridays, the Muslims also had a little service that they also do. So like there's religious tolerance. I think the biggest problem we have here with this Wesley Girls is religious tolerance. Okay. It looks like they are on a standstill, like we don't allow this. But someone to say that maybe they're just enforcing school rules. Do you remember your school rules when you went to school?
Yes.
Which one do you remember the most? All school gatherings are compulsory. I remember that one the most.
Yes, you are not allowed to miss school gatherings.
Is dining hall not a school gathering?
It is.
Going for dining at a certain time, is it compulsory?
It is.
Assembly at a certain time, is it compulsory?
It is.
If we have service, afternoon service, is it compulsory?
It is.
So someone can argue that this is not religious bias. This is just Wesley Girls enforcing their school rules that unfortunately does not favor a group of people at a particular point in time in their space. But it's a school rule.
but you also have to consider
like I'm saying, I'm just
rights that are involved.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that school rules, rules are rules. Rules, it's like going to the military. The rule does not think about human rights. Rules are rules. You've come to school, you've signed, and you've abided.
But one rule should not trump upon someone's right, another man's right.
This is not right to association. This is your right to be part of the school. And when you came to the school, you signed that you
right to worship.
You signed that you follow. That's what I'm saying. Forget religion, forget worship. We're talking about school rules. If the school rule says all school gatherings are compulsory, which I know is a rule every school has. If we ring the bell that it's time for dining hall, is that a school rule that you must be there? It means it is not focused on religion at that point. If we say that in the school, we have service at 9 a.m. every Saturday or every Sunday, is that a school rule you must abide? So it has nothing to do with religion at that point in time. It is when you are taking the nuances, that's when you say that, okay, at this point, this school rule is infringing on my right to buy. It's a school rule that you need to abide to. Even in university, we have school rules. Like Kenyans like this, they always tell you the school you don't know until it babs. When it babs, you know.
Exactly. When it babs, you know. But
when
you
it babs, you know it.
There's this growing concern that government in itself would not put up an institution that is fully recognized as a secular institution and partnering with this mission.
Argument with secular, calling Ghana secular. Like
well, that is what we are known. I mean, well, you can argue it anyhow, but we are neither a Christian country nor a Muslim
we are a religious
country.
Nation, I think. But that's just my opinion.
Our forefathers says we are secular. We are secular in nature. But the frustration here is that why is it that you government, you not put up institutions, i.e. schools, that are not involved in religious activities but solely academia, and rather partnering with these mission schools who, of course, in establishing these schools had their ethos, the character and spirit behind why they did that funding. So you don't build this and then you expect to go and partner with this and then tell them how to run their institution. But you see, it's a bit unfair.
We also have the point where these schools are not being solely run by this mission houses anymore.
Okay, yes, I mean, it's a collaboration between government.
Once the school, to be fair, once the school agreed to collaborate with the government and they know that the government is a secular country where people are paying taxes, so let's break it down to like low.
Right.
The traditionalists, the atheists, the Christian, the Muslim, all of them, their hard-earned money, which has been deducted as taxes, is funding some part of this education we are talking about. It's funding some part of Wesley Girls. It's funding some part of St. Rose's. It's funding some part of Tia Ahmadi. It's funding some part of Islamic, all their schools. And this conversation is not just Wesley Girls. I just want to test the law. I want it to go through. Let's see what it will be. Okay. Like, these cases help us with case law. Right. It helps us a lot because we test it, right? Let's know, because as we are screaming Wesley Girls today, let's not forget the Islam religion is funding a lot of senior high school today. They are popping up everywhere. They are being also integrated into the government system of placements and stuff. Okay. So Christians are being placed in Islamic schools
too as well.
Maybe if we open up for them to also come and tell us what they feel or how some of these schools also like maybe how they manage their faith in the schools, you'll be surprised that what the Muslims are feeling in Gehe, some Christians are also feeling it in their schools as well. Do you get it? So for me personally, I think it's a great case. It should go to the Supreme Court. Let's see what Supreme Court would say and what it would mean for the future. But once the missionary schools agreed to take some of government's funding to let's not forget, the aim is to improve education in the country. So they couldn't have refused because Master, you set up to educate people. So if I want to help you fund it, you shouldn't say no. So they couldn't have said no. Once they agreed, then it means they will need to compromise.
Right.
And it's the compromise that we are not seeing here. Because I think we just had a discussion with a few colleagues, and then someone went to a Catholic school and says, in her Catholic school, they allow the Muslims pray and fast. Yes. But her sister went to another Catholic school
and they don't
who do not allow the Muslims pray. That's St. Rose's. Then we have Wege.
You had to call them out.
Then we have Wege, who does not allow the Catholic Muslims also pray. But we have Holy Child, who have a system to allow. And then we have Agri Memorial. We have Mauli Secondary. We have Temasco. Yeah. So we have a lot of these schools that have found a fine compromise balance. It will not be 50-50 because I know in Agri, we all go for afternoon service. Whether you're a Christian, you go for afternoon service. You wear your cabin slit, you go and sit in the auditorium and you listen to Jack. But you are there because it's compulsory.
So I mean, hearing your submission, so it means that if you are an institution that takes you've agreed to take school fees of these students, whether they are from the Muslim community, the Christian community, once you have agreed to take
funding from government,
then it means that you must provide a conducive environment for everyone to function.
That's the compromise we are all talking about.
But the Bishop Conference, they make a point that they don't like what the education minister is saying, Honorable Haruna Idrusi, that they will not allow any action that would frown upon the right of worship of anybody.
This is where our politicians need to be called out on their hypocrisy. Remember when the Rastafarian issue happened?
Yes. Hey, Charlie. Hey,
and that guy is doing so well. And you know how God sometimes can shame people, right?
Yeah, my guy, right?
The guy is doing so well.
Yeah, he's doing so well.
The same educational minister then in minority was so loud about not allowing people use religious bases to keep their hair, medical reasons. They should, if it's uniformity is important. And then today we're talking about another minority concern, which is Muslim prayers, and you're saying we won't allow anybody use schools. Like, let's stand for something. Seriously. See, we can't call it hypocrisy, but it's just today I stand here, tomorrow I stand here, based on when it favors me.
Right.
Do you get it?
Okay.
And to be fair, we all do that. We are all humans, we all do that. But sometimes for them, and there is record to say that you said this. So sometimes I'm wondering if all of them had PR people. The PR people said, Honorable, you can't say this because last time you said this. So let's try and toe the similar line that says so and so. For example, Justice Ramsay, he tweeted that as far as he's aware, the how do you call it? The missionary schools are still being governed by their churches and the boards, and government is just partnering with them. And then he realized that his government is taking a different angle. So now he has to go and change his argument. But you see, it's the truth. Let's stand with the truth. Governments cannot have 100% control over these schools when they are not funding the schools 100%. Half of the things in this school are being donated by their missionaries, the churches, or even PTA. PTA was gagged under Akufo-Addo, so I just have to say
hey, let Akufo-Addo breathe.
No, PTA was gagged under Akufo-Addo, so we can't say PTA, but all students.
Right, yes.
Like, as we are speaking now, I'm sure I think I finished school, I think it's almost our turn. Like in 2 or 3 years, it's our turn to do something for the school. We are thinking about what to fund.
Okay.
We have to look for a need. Because if you don't fill that gap, your school will be looking underdeveloped every time people are talking about their school. So, of course, government can't fund it totally. So, if you are accepting donations from people, then people's personal or religious concerns and all that will come in. And if the churches, the Wesley Girls board is Methodist.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a board of seven people and all of them are Methodists? What kind of, like seriously, what kind of decisions or rules do you think they will bring up? Of course, to favor them. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Government has to put in a bit more. I think they can't just sit in parliament and say we won't allow any institution that we've brought our children to install there. No, you don't have the locals to say that when you are not funding fully.
Okay.
You can only have the locals to say that if you are funding fully. And let's not forget, I mentioned this, the Islamic schools are also springing up.
Yeah.
Let's open up in the comments and let people tell us their experiences with being Christians in an Islamic so you see, the thing is being a minority in a different space. When you're a minority, it always feels different. Seriously.
Yeah. That's true.
It always feels different.
That's true.
But I think the solution is a compromise. Like, it won't hurt Wesley Girls to make provision for the Muslim team, like the Muslim students in their school, to have a favorable place to pray and a favorable place to, to have their Ramadan. I don't believe in the hijab thing because it's not a religious school.
Okay.
I don't believe students should be wearing hijab to school. Because just like we are saying, let them cut their hair to be uniform. Uniformity is very important. Uniformity is not... See, when the politicians politicized the uniformity thing, it became like, so are we saying that when someone has long hair, the person is not morally right? No, uniformity is to make sure to prevent social vices like competition. It's also to prevent someone from having low self-esteem. Imagine you are in a school with a politician's daughter who can change her braids every 2 weeks. And your braids are kept every 6 weeks. You have in a school a politician's daughter who can wear the latest new black shoe every time, and your mother has gone to Cannes to go and look for some. That is why you need...
It checks all of these things.
It checks that so that when you're growing up, the child feels it's an even playing ground for that child. Because let's not joke. Your teen years build the confidence you have growing up.
Right.
It builds it strongly. If you are not from a place where you have a lot of, see, I keep saying that our generation, our kids will be better because we do lots of words of affirmation, positivity. You are like, we didn't have that growing up. So based on what we were seeing our friends do, so we're checking, we're using our friends to check our level. So if you go to the dormitory, you have a friend who has chore boxes being filled every Tuesday, and look at your chore box that is empty, you're thinking, hey, na me, what am I? And then we are poor. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So imagine you aside provisions, now we have dressing, now we have hairstyles. Those are some of the reasons why uniformity comes. So it is not for moral, like they diluted the conversation. That's what I don't like about social media and politicizing everything. They dilute the conversation, and then it's not worth adding your voice to it. That's what uniform. So I don't believe in the hijab thing.
Okay.
But you see, when you go to TI, they wear hijab. So I was asking, so if I'm a Christian and I'm posted to TI and I'm the only Christian in my class, when you enter the school or you enter my class, what will you see? You see everybody in hijab and just me.
Yeah.
I will be the minority in that class, and trust me, I will not feel comfortable. So it's either two things. I would conform or I would want to move. That's how the Muslims are feeling in the other side.
You see, hearing you say all of these things, then I'm thinking, it means that you would have had people, and this is not the first time something like this is happening.
Here's all students who are ready to testify on their experience when they were there.
You see, so it means that we've had people we've churned out who were either hiding to pray.
Hiding to fast. They said they were hiding to fast.
You know, but have we asked what it does to such a person? Even their person, their identity.
That's what I'm saying.
What it does to them.
It's just a compromise, because I think it's not fair to make the minority in the group feel they are not allowed to do something. Like, don't they have Muslim teachers in the school? That's the first question I was asking. Like,
right.
If they have Muslim teachers in the school, let it be the Muslim teachers' task to regulate their things. So someone will say, okay, maybe we don't have an Islamic teacher or a Muslim teacher who can regulate and tell us what is allowed and what's not allowed. So it means bring out a policy to make sure that you are hiring teachers who can supervise these girls in doing the prayers they are doing. Do you get it?
Right.
That's inclusivity.
Okay.
I was listening to a conversation today where someone was talking about how the University of Ghana is sneaking in I don't mention LGBTQ, but I'm like, see, there's a difference between inclusivity and endorsing LGBTQ. I'm from a former workplace where inclusivity was brought in 2016.
Okay.
Inclusivity. Our laws, our regulations came from the UK, and UK started saying paternity, parental leave. They were not saying paternity leave or maternity, they were saying parental leave. Guess what? Inclusivity means even if I adopt a child, I'm allowed to go on leave because I need a bonding time. Inclusivity means gender non-bias. So we have F, M, other. Wow. The fact that I said other doesn't mean I am endorsing you who is saying you are F but M just or M or F. I'm accommodating you. Doesn't mean I agree with you. This is where inclusivity comes in. Where I'll accommodate you because you found yourself in my space. Does not mean I am endorsing what you're doing. So it's compromise.
But to be fair to this mission school, I believe when they set out to build these schools, they had a vision, they had a goal to instill certain ideals in their students, to instill certain way of life. I know. So if now we are asking them,
has done a lot, right?
But is it not unfair? Is it not unfair to these mission schools asking them to bend their rules for the minority?
I was saying they should bend their rules. I will not agree.
Because
I would say we are saying they should compromise and tolerate, not bend their rules. So this is where, like, religion blurs the line for people. People cannot see beyond Christ. It's like no, like, to be fair, people see, like, we preach and we say every other religion is condemned if you don't know Christ, but religion is supposed to teach us to be morally upright, to do right by our friends, to do right by our neighbors. Even the 10 commandments that people say that Jesus Christ didn't kill, it says do not kill, do not take what is not yours. It was like, I think it's strictly moral compass, that 10 commandments. Strictly moral. The only part that I'll say that is very religious was say, do not call another God your God. Except me.
Okay.
Every other of the commandments was strictly a moral compass we are supposed to follow, right?
Yeah, right.
So if that is it, are we saying that if the Muslims are not worshiping with us, then they cannot follow the Methodist way of lifestyle, which is being morally upright? Is that what we are saying? No, that's not it. Because in their religion, they're also taught. So what you can do is make sure that your moral compass as a like Methodist school that you instill in your students is instilled in their teachings. Do you get it?
Yeah, but so then it means that you have to be teaching the Muslim girl the Christian ways.
No. So what are we trying to say? No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, that we have made religion so much that it is Christ. But religion is supposed to make our moral compass up.
Okay.
So religion is supposed to teach me to be kind.
So if I understand you, rather than questioning the hijab, fasting and all of that, we should have students who have high moral standards. Then these things become minor.
Exactly. It doesn't matter which channel.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter which channel, but I am teaching I'm teaching the students to be morally upright. They should be kind. They should be truthful. They should not steal from others. They should not kill another person. They should not take what does not belong to them. That is exactly what the 10 Commandments are.
Okay.
The only difference is, do not call another God thy God.
Okay.
But in this point, we differ because they call another God their God. In fact, when they'll tell you no. If you bring a Muslim to this show, the Muslim to know it's the same God. It is in the channel in which we pray. You go through Jesus, we go through Muhammad. It's very funny, hey? Religion is one of the things.
It is funny
we can
because
actually have a 4-hour debate and we will not get anywhere because everybody is just stuck at where they are. No one is willing to ask questions. See, half of the atheists we have in the world are people who were born into religious homes who ask questions that were shut down.
Yeah.
So now they grow up and they start asking questions and then they start thinking, so all this was for what? Why couldn't I have asked questions? There is rebellion.
Yeah.
Then the rebellion turns into, F everybody, then I'm not doing any. That is it.
Yeah.
But if we ask questions and questions are answered in ways that people understand, they realize that we are actually fighting for the same thing. That's why you see that when we are fighting politicians, we say we are a country that claim we are 80% religious, but we are 100% thieves.
That's so true. So true.
You meet the vendor on the street who is a Christian and she's cheating you.
So even though we have high Christianity rate, bad moral.
If you ask me the solution, take religion out and teach morals.
That's interesting.
Take religion out
because
and teach
even
moral
if you
without
take the religion, every religion believes that without their way you are going to hell. Because the Christian believe that if you don't go through the Christian way, you will go to hell. The Islam also believe that if you don't go through the Islamic way, you are going to hell.
It's just a compromise. It's just a compromise. But you see, I know I haven't been on the show for a very long time, so I just have to keep this in. Just like the way we are going to have a case law on the Odobroni versus Akosia Sewa. No, in fact, they said it will be Akosia Sewa versus Ebusia Penny Kofi Owusu and 2 others. That's how the case law will
really
be. Yes. Just like that, based on the Friday ruling, we will have a case law where we can always refer to when we are debating cases. We will have a case law on this.
So
we will have a case law
from Osman.
Hafik Osman versus Gehe case.
Yeah.
We'll have precedents.
Yeah.
Me, I'm happy for in fact, I don't know, but law is very attractive these days. So the case laws are good for us. It's good.
And me, I don't even understand when Ghana became so vested in things of religion. I mean, you know what? Because growing up, I mean, living with a Muslim is a normal thing you see in a Ghanaian home.
You see, that
is very normal to see a Christian and a Ghanaian, a Muslim living in a Ghanaian home. Yeah. So I don't understand where all of these things are coming from now.
People have been marginalized for so long. Today, coming out to speak up is easier than it used to be. Okay. All I need is, I don't want to do adverts for Samsung, but yeah, all I need is a Samsung S25, a TikTok account. Say something that punches somebody, someone retweets it, I go viral. I've built a case. Yeah. So that's why in his case, he says he has old students who are willing to testify. I don't know, you'll be surprised that we'll have someone who completed 20 years ago who will come and share her experience of how it affected her self-esteem or affected her religious bias or affected how she thought or how it made her perceive things.
Yeah.
Because these things have a way of forming who we are in the future. I keep saying, there's one thing I like about if my daughter would go to a senior high school in Ghana, it's gay. Okay. I don't know, unless the standards have really dropped, like of late, the standards have really dropped. Hey, are the free SHS. There's an aura they carry around. There's an aura they carry around. When you hear a gay girl speak, see, I have 2 clients who are gay old students. When they speak, like, I'm like, I need to learn how to speak like that. Like, and these are older people, of course, some are like 50, 55. But there's something up, there's an aura they carry around.
I remember when my kid sister went to gay, I mean, after first year, her second year, even how she sits now changes, how she walks now. And then we are in the house like, hey, what is this? What is it?
Those are some of the things that is instilled in them. So we don't want them to lose those because of this. Right. See, we have to find a balance. The balance is be religious tolerant. You cannot have an institution that's open to everybody and not be then now. So not to make joke of the case, but people are asking. So if we are fighting for the Muslims to have the chance to pray and fast in a school like it who has strict laws, are we going to open up for the Muslim, then the traditionalists to also pour libation when it's time?
I think, yeah.
No, but like,
if we are fighting for the minority.
We are opening a can of worm that we must be careful we open. I think that is where this case is going to the Supreme Court is great. Like, they would think it through. Because it becomes precedent. In fact, most of the rulings in Ghana starts from precedents before the judge makes his or her own assertion in addition. So, in a school like mine, we'll be barbed. Because students are, like, we'll be barbed because everybody's forced to go to afternoon church service. Even if whether you're Muslim, it doesn't matter. Everybody is, that's why I said, is it a school rule that is being enforced, that is being looked through the glasses of religion, or it's just a school rule that's been enforced? So in the school room, which I remember clearly, all school is number 1. All school gatherings are compulsory. And the school gatherings is broken down. Assembly, dining, cleaning, it's there. It's there boldly in caps.
You know what? I think this is a very interesting case. We are all interested in.
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
So we would all wait for the verdict. But whilst we wait, well, do you think religious tolerance is the way? Let us know in the comments section. And whilst you're doing that, recommend this to a brother, a friend, a sister. Until we come your way next time, always make sure you're a great citizen. We are.